Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to the first 2025 previews and predictions episode here on the Ballin In Burgundy podcast. Yeah, myself and Andrew back in the building. Andrew, are we ready?
We're ready, bro. Back at it. The 2025 season is officially started. We're recording as the first game is happening. We got Cowboys, Eagles going down. It's a good one. The season started, John. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
man. The season has started. As we're recording, they just left the field for a weather delay, so you will see the final score obviously on Twitter. I'll just
Really?
post. It just happened. Uh, So we'll see how that turns out. But as I said, we are here, week one, previews and predictions. And before we touch that, guys, I want to like, share, and subscribe here on the Ball and Brandy podcast. Road to 1,000 subscribers still is happening. We are at 728. We are 262 subs away from 1,000. I want that by December. I want that by Christmas. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about BIB at Instagram and TikTok at Ballin and Brandy Podcast, Twitter at BIB Podcast 22 because 40 days long news. But Andrew, as a wise man once said, the people's champion, the great one, the final boss, The Rock once said,
Finally! Finally!
finally, we have returned to Commanders football week one, hope opener, rocking the white on burgundies like your boy is. Commanders, Giants, 1 o'clock. How we feeling?
Bro, I'm so excited. We've been waiting months for this all off season. The day is finally almost here. We got, what day is it? Is it Thursday?
As we're
Couple
recording Thursday
days.
when this drops Friday, so within about 48 hours away from kickoff.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. Let's start. I want to start looking at the injury report because we have a few guys who were limited practice day being Thursday. We will see how they end up being tomorrow and when this comes out today. But Armstrong, Noah Brown, and John the Jones all were limited practice today being Thursday. Armstrong with the knee, Noah Brown with the continuance of the knee, and John the Jones with that hamstring. I don't want to say it doesn't concern me, but considering that's three straight starters, especially John the Jones at corner, having a hamstring injury, it's not also putting me at ease. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think it's going to be extremely problematic. I still expect us to win. I don't think it's going to be a big problem. Noah Brown is someone that I really, really do want to see healthy because he's had lingering injury problems,
Yep.
and I feel like he's that guy that could step up and be a good three behind Deebo Samuel. So he'd be a valuable piece if we can get him healthy. Jonathan Jones important, but we also do have a strong cornerback room this year. Unlike last year, it's stepped up a lot. Not super worried about that. And Armstrong definitely could use them. So hopefully they're healthy soon.
Yeah, hopefully they're healthy. We'll see who's on the official injury report come Sunday. But the big piece coming this week with the injury report, it's not on our side. No, no, no. The Giants starting left tackle Andrew Thomas. Say what you want being the division rival. He is one of the best tackles in the league when healthy, when you need him the most. He's up there. I want to say he's top five, but I could see him being top 10. But him being injured going into this game bodes well for our defense.
Especially our relatively weak defensive end position group. So I think that will definitely work in our favor. Hopefully help us get to the quarterback more. So
Yeah, I wonder how much this now impacts the scheme. So, because if he doesn't play, him being left side, do you put Miller on the left and have him go after the backup and now really put Russell Wilson in a tight spot?
ooh, that's not something I considered, but I kind of like that idea.
Like,
I
oh,
could definitely see them being more flexible and playing around with it a little bit more. Especially in week one, they want to know where guys are comfortable, where they can play from. So
yeah.
I could see them mixing up where Von Miller's going to be lining up a little bit. Um, yeah, I'm all for that, honestly.
Maybe overload that left side with Von Miller, Javon Kinlaw. You have Payne, and let's say Armstrong does come out healthy. You've got him on the right. Maybe you have Louvu or Wagner come up with the blitz. Now you've got 5-on-5. Russell Wilson's got to figure out what he's got to do.
Definitely would love to see Luvu get more involved in the pass rush. So,
Well, considering all this whole offseason, he's been working out with HBK, no Shawn Michaels, talking about Ryan Kerrigan,
yep.
number 91, the Boilermaker. There is no reason he should have no more than 8 sacks.
No, I share that expectation with you 100%. He's a talented player, can absolutely do that. So,
Yep. I want to move on. Let's go back to the Giants for a second. Their defense, looking at their front seven, on paper, should be as lethal as Phillies. Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Roaches, Brian Okereke and the company. Like, they have got legitimate pieces on that defensive line.
question for you, John. Is it ridiculous to say they have the best defensive line in football right now? Is that ridiculous to say?
Um, Maybe. I could name at least 2 teams I think I would take before I get to
Would
them.
you take the Eagles over them?
Eagles defensive line between Jordan Carter and Jordan Davis alone, that D tackle room is stacked.
And who
But
else?
Rams, that's a Fisk, Verse, Young, and the company over there. If it was not snowing, I think they would have gone into Jalen Hurts a lot more.
Yeah, I would agree that those are probably the top three units in the league. But I really do believe the Giants this year could be contenders for the best D line in all of football. I mean,
Oh,
they're
for sure.
absolutely stacked.
Yeah, on paper, like Abdul Carter should shine, but then he's also in the same room of like Burns and Thibodeau. So you're like, is Thibodeau the odd man out? Is Abdul going to move to edge? Are they going to put him at like the TJ Watt outside linebacker? Like, on paper, this defensive line should eat. Should.
For them, more talent the merrier. They'll rotate guys.
Apparently. But my thing is, okay, let's look at their defensive line. Well, then let's look at our offensive line. Connolly Jr., Coleman, Bedash, Wiley or Allegretti, Laramie Tunsil. And when Kazi comes back healthy, we can legitimately have a top 5 offensive line.
Very different from last year.
Yep. So I talked about, obviously I've given my kind of thoughts on the recent episode of the Burgundy Breakdown. Y'all can go watch that up here in the description. One of the matchups I think is going to be very interesting, and we touched on this a lot. Our wide receiver room versus their new secondary. They added Paulson and Deebo. They added
Mhm.
Javon Holland. They still have Drew Phillips. They still have Dante Banks. They still have Tyler Nubin. But none of the, like, outside of Javon Holland, really, because they let go of Xavier McKinney 2 years ago, outside of Holland, none of them really scream, I've got a game plan for. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think our receiver room or their DB room I would consider above average to slightly above average. I think both are okay units. I think they're going to match up well. But if I had to pick one between both of them, I'm going to say our receiver room beats out their DB room. I think it will be a passing game. I think they're going to be able to weaponize whatever their defensive scheme is. So I'm not too worried about them.
No, not really. But flipping sides, our offense or their offense versus our defense. They brought in Russell Wilson. They have Jackson Dart as the 2. They got Tyrone Tracy. They got Cam Scatabo. They got Malik Neighbors. They got Wandale Robinson. They got Cody Bellinger. Uh, the kid out of Nebraska, Thomas Fadone and company, Jalen Hyatt. And I'm like, all right, well, either Marshawn or Mikey is taking Malik. They're gonna rotate the corners on Malik. None of the other guys, like Wandale maybe, Jalen Hyatt maybe, but like I feel comfortable with Amos and Mikey if need be, going stride for stride with those two, especially Amos on Hyatt. Those are high speed guys. I think our defense, hopefully, knock on wood, is going to do a lot better than we are all are hoping.
If we're being honest, Malik's the threat, and he's the only threat that we really need to worry about, regardless of who's on him, whether it's
Yep.
Mikey or Marshawn or somebody else. He's going to get yards. He's going to score a touchdown or two. He's that good. He's amazing. I think Russell is an upgrade at quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think once they feel comfortable with putting Dart in as their starter, I genuinely believe Dart could be a top 10 quarterback if develops correctly. He has some really good signs. With Malik, that scares me.
Might just have to clip that out for a little bit. That's gonna grab some. That's gonna be all right. Jackson Dart is a
I
top
don't like
10.
to say that as a Commanders fan, but if I'm being honest, that duo in the future, that could scare me.
Malik Neighbors for damn sure. He could be a top 10 wide receiver this season, if we're
Oh
being
yeah,
honest.
he is.
Um, damn. Okay. I'm just coming across the news. So it is currently 10:40 as we're mid record. News came across both of our desks saying the game between the Cowgirls and the Eagles could resume like an hour from now. So we will see if we ever get a final to this game. Right now, Eagles lead 24-20 going or into the third quarter. But enough about them. Let's go back to us. Our offense. Excuse me. Yeah, let's go to our offense. We brought up the wide receivers earlier. Terry, Deebo, Noah, Jalen, Luke. This name, and this was a hot debate last night on TBB. Heck, the first 35 minutes of last night's Burgundy Breakdown was just on this one topic. I had to make a whole episode about it. It was insane. The recent news coming out about Kendrick Bourne saying he's going to sit out week 1 and see where he fits, where he wants to go between San Fran and us after week 1. I played the Kendrick Bourne Devil's Advocate card. I think what he's doing is very smart. You don't have to get injured. You aren't getting gassed. My argument was San Fran between Ayuk being injured, Pearsall and Jennings being your 1 and 2s going to the season, and Cowing injured. He would immediately slot into that 3 being a veteran guy, very similar to our own Noah Brown in terms of style, receiver, body, radius, the whole 9. Versus here, he would slot into a minimum of the 5. You would push Luke McCaffrey down. And then that became a whole thing of, okay, it's Noah Brown, Kendrick Bourne. My question to you and my question for the people, if let's say we win on Sunday, Terry has a good game, Deebo has a good game, but Noah Brown kind of shows he needs a little time to rest. Are you putting more chips in the Noah Brown basket, or are you going to put all the chips, or are you putting all black chips on the Kendrick Bourne basket?
Listen, Kendrick Bourne is okay. He's not good. Um, he's an okay receiver that can be an okay wide receiver 3. I personally would not be hurt if he ends up in San Francisco. I think that San Francisco, that room might be becoming a little bit more competitive because they just gave Jennings that contract.
Yep.
And didn't they just sign somebody as well? If I'm correct.
They elevated Marquez Valdez-Scantling from the practice squad, so he is now
Yeah.
another veteran guy. They upgraded Jawan Jennings' contract from like $3 million a year to like $7 million, because he was
Mhm.
hoping for a new contract. So there's some more guarantees thrown his way. So you're like Kendrick Bourne for you is just like kind of whatever.
If we get him, I'd like him. Obviously, I'm not paying him more than a couple mil a year. I think he's good depth, so I want him. I'm not sweating. I think Noah Brown is better. Hopefully, will be better. So I'm putting my chips in with Noah Brown.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that conversation, Kendrick Bourne versus Noah Brown, became like a 35-minute segment. I was like, this right here is just an episode by itself. It was ridiculous.
Noah Brown, I will say, Noah Brown does have a more concerning injury history, and there's a lot more uncertainty about him this year. So he should be healthy hypothetically. But it's this week, next week, whatever. Um, but if we want to aim for a more reliable, reliable receiver, I can understand them going with Kendrick Bourne.
I would agree on that. I'm 100% agree. I think if Noah Brown shows he's still not 100%, I would start pushing the baskets for Kendrick Bourne. But if Noah Brown comes out and shows
If he
injuries aren't
balls
really,
out,
yeah, if he does what
if
people
he
are
looks
hoping,
healthy,
yeah, if he's doing what Juan and damn my camera, if he's doing what Juan and Reedy want him to do and balls out, Kendrick Bourne, you can go to San Fran. If Noah Brown shows he's not 100%, I could see them very much going for the Kendrick Bourne route.
even if Noah Brown does end up balling out and looks healthy, I'd still take Kendrick Bourne.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, he might prefer being in San Francisco. That's why he's waiting this week out is to evaluate that. So,
Yep.
yeah,
I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him at all.
me neither.
Well, going into Sunday, what is the matchup you're looking like? We obviously went over like the broad matchups and the broad. What is the one key matchup for you? You're going, I'm watching this the whole game.
Ooh, let me think on that. You have an answer ready?
I kind of have two, but I think I have my main one. I'm going whether or not the offensive line newly constructed can protect Jaden as well as we're hoping. We all have
Yeah.
full confidence when all fully healthy they can, but we're kicking things off with a very, very on paper vaunted defense. This is going to be the Abdul Carter versus Josh Carnley Jr. show. They are immediately going to put Abdul against Josh. Now, Josh did wonderful things in college against Abdul. Again, only giving up 2 sacks with over 1,000 snaps. So that's not the issue. But when it's him and Burns and Thibodeau and Sexy Dexy and Bobby Okereke and everyone else who can get to the quarterback, because for whatever reason, we when we play New York, we give up a few sacks. Granted, their defense is talented. We're not taking away anything from their talent. It just happens. I'm waiting to see if we can protect Jaden against such a heavy defense, because if so, I think we're going to give up a sack regardless. I think one, maybe two, but if this turns into a 4 or a 5, I'm going to go, oh, because we immediately play Green Bay the following Thursday. So we go, oh, he went from Dexter Lawrence and comedy to Micah Parsons.
Oh, we got to face him.
Yep.
Forgot. He's a
Yeah,
Packer.
he's a Packer. So that's my lineup is Giants defense versus Commanders O line.
I might say specifically interior O line.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how they perform, but I'm going to add Laramie Tunzel to that
Okay.
because I mean, he's a very talented player. I
Yep.
think he deals with some penalty issues. Um, but that will be, yeah, a high talent level matchup. And it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that better.
Okay, so we're both on the same page of we need this O line, regardless of giving up sacks or protecting Jaden to show us what they can do.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Did I say
I
Laramie Tunzel or did I say Connerly? I
you said
forget.
Laramie Tun. You said Laramie
Oh,
Tunzel.
I meant Connerly.
I was like, where are we going with this?
No, I'm confident Laramie Tunzel will be good.
Okay,
I'm a little bit more interested to see Connerly and how he matches up on the outside. So
okay.
see the
I was
rookie
like,
guy.
yeah. I was like, no penalties aside, I agree. I agree. I'm just writing a few things down. I my other big thing is how is this run game going to perform?
Ooh,
Because obviously B Rob is gone. He got traded. Bill is listed as the fourth. He's
won't
probably going to
be.
be. He won't be. He'll easily be the two. I think Eckler will start this game. considering where he's listed on the depth chart as the one. But I think Bill, if Bill gets a few touches and goes maybe 5 touches, 22 yards, kind of like the small things, and he shows he's got the cut, he's got a little bit, maybe he breaks one for 12, and the rest are like, hey, we need you on third down, we need you on fourth down, we need you on the goal line. Like those types of things, I'm going to go, all right, they're slowly working him in on this offense. Because the fact that now there's a hype train for Bill, as Cliff Kingsbury put in his presser today, that shows me, oh, yes. Yes, please.
Could I submit a hot take here?
I love me some hot takes. Come on.
I believe Austin Eckler within a couple weeks will end up as our three. I believe Chris Rodriguez could be the one or two going back and forth with Bill.
Okay. I have a rebuttal for that.
Okay, I'll take it.
If come by the trade deadline, that does happen. Austin Eckler is our three. Rodriguez and Bill are showing out. Are you putting him on the trade block?
Sure, but nobody's going to want him. For being honest,
Probably
can
not.
maybe get some late round pick if we're lucky. But if
Another
he's
another
our
another
three,
six another sixth or seventh.
how old how old is he?
Mr. Austin Eckler is, I don't think he's 30 years old.
He is just not nearly at that level he was 3, 4 years ago.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but
Obviously. And I think he's going to continue to decline. Last year, he was okay. He wasn't anything special. I
mhm.
wouldn't say he's a stud one. I put him at a two.
Yeah,
This year, if he keeps declining, I could see him ending up at three. We opt for more younger guys. We got Bill. C-Rod's young. I don't know how young. He's young.
he's
And I
super
like both
young.
of them a lot.
Yeah.
McNichols also, I mean, he's young,
Yeah.
talented. They're good guys, so they got time to develop.
Okay. All right. Eckler could be the three. I mean, he's already kind of on the special teams like punt kick return depth. So I mean, they would probably keep him just for that alone.
Yeah.
Uh, because right now it's like Deebo and Jalen Lane, which is like, oh, Deebo's on punt returns. This gonna be interesting.
Isn't he doing kick
Yeah.
returns? Yeah.
Which I mean,
And
I
is
don't see him
Lane
being.
doing punt?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it. I don't see Deebo being on special teams for long though. I think that's just to get him started.
You don't? I
I
feel
don't
like
see.
he could be I feel like he could be pretty good at that.
I don't see him doing it long because you want him healthy to start the drive. Unless he's immediately going
Definitely.
back, unless he's immediately going back to the bench for a few plays, but then now your two's on the bench for like let's say first, first and 10, second and 3, third and 4, now he's back on the field. Now that could
Yeah,
easily
I
have been a
mean,
first down.
I mean, I could see him putting him on the bench to catch his breath for maybe a play, two plays, max
Yeah.
three. I don't think it'd be longer than that, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thing. I found it interesting, and I don't really see it being all that long. Pause. Um, I just don't see it happening. But
I don't know. I mean, that guy, he's big, obviously, but he's also strong and he's still pretty fast, believe it
yeah,
or not. He's one of the faster guys on this team in our offensive room. And he might be, I don't know, 400 pounds or whatever, but he's quick, he's strong. I feel like he's got what it needs to be a good kick returner. So I'd like to see him there.
yeah. I want to see him there just to see what he does. But if he does well, I think they'll probably keep him longer. I just don't see it being so long if it's not producing like, oh, immediately out to the 35-yard line. Oh, that's cool. But if he gets it like he takes it and we're at the 10 and we're at the 15. like it's not producing the high value that he wants. I could see this being a kind of a short-term experiment.
Yeah.
Make this happen. But as we start to wrap things up, I gave my score prediction. And I'll recap mine. What is your score prediction going into Sunday?
I think we keep it short and sweet. I think offense does well. We scored 28 points. I think our defense holds them to 17.
Okay.
28-17. Commanders win.
28-17. Ooh. I was a bit more, I mean, the way this Eagles Cowboys game is going, mine's looking a lot better. I had 27-21 Washington.
I like that too.
I think it's going to be a much more um like even kill matchup to start things out. I think we could start the first drive hot, go down, score, you know, stutter a little bit, and then second half we kind of come out the gates again. Um, and whether that's two field goals to end it or a touchdown, and we already had that that point, screwed in there. I could see this being kind of a one score game to kick the season off.
True Washington fashion, just like it used to be. Cardiac
Yep,
Commanders. We'll see.
cardiac. Either the cardiac commanders are coming to play, or we are going to smoke the Giants. I'm hoping for the latter, but there's a reason why we have a soundbite with cardiac commanders. There's a
Hopefully, we
reason
don't
why.
have to use it. We'll see.
Hopefully not. That is the plan, is not to use it. But with that being said, guys, we are looking forward to Sunday. Let's stay tuned. I won't be able to watch the game. I've got plans after church, so I will not be on Twitter like usual. So y'all are gonna have to, update me as the game's going. If I don't see in the group chat, Jaden, Terry, I'm gonna go. Oh, this game is a snooze fest, ain't it? Oh damn.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. But guys, let's look forward to Sunday. And as Sunday approaches, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here on BIB. Like I said, road to 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna get there. We're gonna hopefully get there by December. About 270 away from that goal. So share this with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your friend, your coworker, your husband, your wife, anybody and everyone you can see and they're football fans. Send this to them. We will see y'all into the weekend. I'm kind of hoping for a Cowboys win, so that Philly can lose. But we
Mhm.
will see if and when this weather delay ends, because as we're recording and as I'm editing, it has not resumed. So we will see. But we will see y'all this coming weekend. Let's raise hail. And don't forget to stay ballin'. We will see y'all out there.